Hi guys, it's Carol from Cape Cod Cottage Garden, gardening in Zone 7A on Cape Cod, Mass. Today I'm going to attempt a very daunting thing, my drip system. So I'm going to add drip irrigation to my raised bed garden. I did order everything through Drip Depot. I am not affiliated, sponsored, anything. I just bought it myself and it's going to be my own opinions on all this stuff. We've already run into a few problems. Originally, we planned to take the drip, attach the drip to one of our sprinkler heads because there was a zone on the side of my garden bed. There's a head right there. That we don't really need that zone because that's my damp area of lawn. So we were just going to shut that zone off and go right off that sprinkler head. So I bought all the appropriate things for that. I did my whole plan on that. And then this morning, when we turned the sprinkler on, we realized that that one head that's next to my garden actually does our entire backyard, is attached to our entire backyard. So we can't use it because we obviously don't want to shut off our entire backyard. So I am going to actually change my whole plan on the fly like I've done before. And I'm just going to go off my hose bib. I have a hose bib on the side of my shed. There's currently a hose link on it, but I'm just going to buy a splitter. So I have to change it up. So initially, when the first step you want to do is you want to make a little garden plan. And this was mine. Just give you an example of what I did. So I drew out all my beds on graph paper. And then I, measured how much tubing I would need to bring the water to the beds, how many elbows and T's and connectors and everything. I have everything color coded, everything I would need, all the square foot, all the lines. And then I went on to the Drip Dripper website and I saw which kit closely matched what I needed. And then, of course, I had to make adjustments and I just added a few extra things here and there or took away a few things and I came up with my kit. The problem being is now that I am going from much further away, so I might have to run out and get some more supplies, especially the mainline tubing that's going to carry the water to the bed. This will all make so much more sense when you see me start to do it. I hope. In my head it's there, but I've never done this before, and you're going to have to come along with me and figure it out. So let's go look at the supplies, and I'm going to start laying out some tubing. All right, so here we are with our box from Drip Depot. You wouldn't believe that everything we need fits in this little box. It's not that big, see? So let's see what we have. Let's open it up. Ooh, 2 lollipops. I like that. I do have a sweet tooth. Okay. So the other thing I also did, which I think is a really good idea, at least for me, because I don't want to make as least mistakes as possible. I know I'll make some, is the emitter tubing that I got brown. So I got black tubing, mainline tubing to bring the water to me, but the actual emitters are brown instead of using the black ones, just so I don't accidentally like poke a hole in the wrong tube, which I can see myself doing. I do have some. The black emitter, the quarter-inch emitter tubing, the quarter-inch tubing I have that doesn't have emitters on it is black. So this is just going to carry water to if I want to do pots or like I do have a lot of grow bags. I might do potatoes in. I might want to water those. So this will carry the water there, and then once there, I'll use either the brown or some other type of emitter. So that I have. Another tip is to leave this stuff in the sun so it gets soft, so it's a little more pliable and easier to put together. But so I have 1, 2, 3 rolls of brown emitter tubing, quarter-inch. I got the emitters every 6 inches because I'm doing a square foot garden, so I wanted to cover every possible spot. Oh goodness. Oh no. This does seem a little daunting, doesn't it? This is the bag of little trinkets and supplies, which I will open. But first, before I do anything, I want to take out my black 1/2 inch poly tubing. This is what's going to carry the water to the beds. I want to put this in the sun because it's really stiff right now. So I'm going to take the little, undo it and put it in the sun so it won't just keep trying to curl up on me when I'm trying to lay it out. So let me do that. Put that in the sun. I want to cut that off. Let's quickly open this bag. I don't think I'm going to go through every single piece that I have. I'll do that as I go along, preparing, running the tubing. I'll just show you a few things. They do, if you buy a kit, it does include one of these things to poke the holes. Just an example. What is this? Permalock tubing end caps. If you keep them in the bags, it says what they are on the back, so that's what I'm going to do. Here's a T. I don't know what this is. What is it? Permalock tubing coupling. Okay. These are the tiny little 1/4-inch elbows. I did buy these valves. These valves are going to go on each bed. So if I want to individually turn off on and off one bed, so say one bed doesn't need as much water as another, I can turn it off and on. So I can still water the rest of the garden and just keep that one bed off. So I got one for each bed. These are little emitters if I want to do pots. So anyways, I'm not going to go through everything in this bag. Here's some C-clamps to clamp the tubing to the side of the bed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let me try to sort all this out, kind of get set up, and I'll take it from there. Okay, so the first step that I already did was I put the tubing all the way under the shed to attach to my hose bib, but I don't have my splitter yet, so I can't actually do this part yet because since I had to change it from the sprinkler head, I have to go out and buy a splitter and a timer now. So after, I will show you how to do this assembly at the end. But so what I did for now is I just gave myself plenty of tubing and I just tacked it down with one of these C-clamps. It goes under the shed and it comes out over here. I'm going to bury this a little bit. So I just have it tacked down with some, sorry for my shadow. I have it tacked down with some garden staples for now, just to keep it from rolling around. It goes this way. And then I attached like an elbow right there. And then I threaded it underneath. That's the other issue. I do have this apron to keep the critters out, so I just threaded it underneath the apron, and now I'm going to go on the other side and start assembling. I'll show you how to do the connectors close up in a second. There's a break in the action because I literally have to stop what I'm doing with my drip irrigation to water my plants because I came over and looked and my lettuce was all wilting. It is April 14th and it is 80 degrees on the Cape. That is really unheard of, really unseasonably warm. I am sweating because I'm not used to it either. But imagine what it's going to be like when it's 90 something out here, like it was last summer. No rain at all. So that is why I'm taking on the project today. I'll put it in my drip so I don't have to do this. Watering my carrots, watering my onions. So yeah, so I'm going to take a moment and water all my vegetables so they don't die before I get the drip in. And then I'll resume with the drip. Okay, this is really tight quarters here, but I wanted to show you what the next step was. So as you can see, here's the water delivery line, the 1/2-inch tubing that comes underneath the skirt. Right here, I need to bring water that way and that way. So I need a T. So I'll show you how this works. So these have these little things. What you want to do is sometimes they're like this. Can you see? So what you want to do is you want to screw it back so you can see that little ridge there. What you do is you slide the tubing over that ridge. Kind of have to wiggle it a little bit to get it on there, and then you just tighten it like that over the ridge. That holds it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and put this T in, and once I get the T in, then I'm just going to take the end of some more pipe and send some 1/4-inch tubing that way and 1/2-inch tubing that way. So I'll just attach this while you watch. You can kind of see. It helps that it's in the sun. I have no room to work here. This is tight. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. My knees are in the way. If you can't see, I'll show you on a different angle. So you just kind of wiggle it in. Oh my goodness. I hear all kinds of emergency vehicles in the background. So once you get it wiggled all the way in, you just screw it over like that. And just hand tighten. So now I have to send up some 1/2-inch tubing that way and that way. I'm going to do that next. I'll show you again when I have a more open space. I'm in like a 2x2, I think a 1x2 space here. So I want to show you what we've done, what I've done so far, and show you different scenarios that can happen because I ran into a few little hiccups, but I think I'm going to work around them. So it comes in from under the shed. It turns 90 degrees there. Here, sorry for my shadow. I have a T. Goes that way to an elbow. Goes that way. I'll show you how I did it over here. Sorry, my shadow is going to get in it, but so I have a T. It's kind of hard to see, really hard to see. Oh, let me show you on this side. So I have a T there with an elbow to feed that way. Maybe you can see it this way. And this one's just an elbow going up and then an elbow going over. So those are pretty straightforward. But what happened over here, let me show you over here. So I have, there's my T coming in from the shed. It's going behind this bed. Coming over here. Oh, my shadow. Well, you can see I have a T there. I have to run, I have to run the line all the way down to get these 4 beds. All the way down there. So I did the T and I put this one with just an elbow and an elbow. Elbow and elbow. I'm going to tack these in so they're nice and straight. So that's pretty straightforward, right? But when I got here, my bed's along this way and I want the header to go this way. So that's a little complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the T like this, attach it, and then I'm just going to put my elbow like this. So the hose can go that way. So my 1-inch tubing is going to kind of not be, it's going to be at an angle, but I think that will be fine. Otherwise I have to do elbow, 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 and I'm not going to do that. And I'm trying to conserve my 1/2-inch tubing because I don't think I'm going to have enough to finish the project because we had to change everything and we figured out we couldn't go from the sprinkle head. So let me show you, I'll put this one together and show you how I do it. So it is so sunny that the shadows that are casting are really strong. So let's see. So basically, I just kind of line up where I want this to be. Just right there would be good, I guess. Not ideal. I'd love to do it here and have it come up, but then my elbow would go this way. So that's not going to work. I have to have my elbow go this way. So I'm going to cut it right about there. Just using my Falcos to do it. And then I'm going to put my T in. You unscrew this all the way. You kind of just wiggle it in. It's really hot today. It's hot out today. It's 80 degrees. So the tubing is a little more pliable. And then once you get it in, you just tighten it up like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay. And then I usually take one of these. I'm going to use little C-clamps and clamp this all down, but for now I'm just using these when I can. If I can get through the soil. Solid. Oh my goodness. The best laid plans. Hang on. Whoops. There we go. What the heck? Is this all rock underneath here? I guess so. Forget it. Okay. This is actually, it's gone really smooth up until I turned the camera on and I'm not even fibbing. I was going to see if I can reuse this, but I can't. So the one mistake I did make is I cut one of these pieces and it was too short. So this was kind of like, it was like down here. You want it to be like right up there. So let's see. So I'm going to measure, just so I don't cut it too short again, how much I need. I need about, usually around 9 inches. Yeah, 9 inches. So I'm going to measure 9 inches. Cut the tubing. Make it just like that. So now I'm just going to, this kind of stinks because it's going to go like that. So it's going to be a little crooked, but it'll be fine. There's always a workaround. So once you get it over the little lip like that, you just screw it up. And that's all there is to it. So now I'm going to put my elbow right here. I mean, it is a little difficult to get in, but it's not impossible. You just have to kind of wiggle it in, just like that. I'm going to get a little tack and tack that right there. Let me do that. Hold on. First of all, my camera is dying because it's so hot out here that it keeps shutting off on me. So this is the 1/2-inch tubing clamp with the nail in it. I got it from the same company. I'm just going to kind of fasten that somewhere here, just so it stays in place. Like that. Perfect. So now I just have to measure the distance from here to here and cut some tubing. Let's do that. Ah, yeah, do it first. I was just thinking of something else. I need about 36 inches, give or take. So let me measure that out. I don't think you guys can even see what I'm doing. Let me fix my camera. Okay, sorry about that. So measure about 36 inches of tubing. I'm only doing this because I don't want to waste tubing. I'm being very careful about my measurements. I'm probably going to end up having to buy more. I don't want to. I want to get it done today. So just cut that. And then slip it on. There we go. Just like that. So, but you remember I want to put a valve here because I want to be able to turn off and on each bed individually. So let me get a valve. So I'm just going to make a cut and put a valve there. Hold on one sec. I go grab it. All right. So this is the valve. Okay. It's a simple turn on and off. So I'm going to put that like right there. I'm going to cut the tubing right there. This might be hard to do. I hope I don't waste tubing. I don't have a lot to spare. Put my valve in. Awesome, just like that. Twist. Twist nice and straight. Put the other tubing in. Actually, I could have made this shorter because this valve is about 4 inches long. Oh well. This is why, this is the first time I'm doing it, so you're learning right with me. No, stop. Slide it over that little coupling there. Twist. I think I'm getting sunburned. Sugar. Oh my gosh, my arms are red. I bet I put some sunscreen on. I forgot to put sunscreen on. Who would think? This time of year. Perfect. So just like that. So I'm just going to tack that down with some clamps. Just make sure I'm going to put 3 rows of drip off of this header. So I just want to make sure, and I think I said it's going to be every 9 inches. So I just want to make sure I don't put my clamp right where I want to put a drip line. So let me do that and I'll be right back. So I don't even know if, I can't even see my camera because it's so bright out, but okay. So I have a 36-inch bed, 3-foot bed. I decided to run 3 lines. So I'm going to space them every 9 inches so I can have 3 lines going down. So I just want to make sure I don't put my little clamp at the where my drip where my emitter tubes are going to come out. So let me see. Let me just make sure. So if I put one right here, I should be fine. Where's my hammer? And then, so it's 9. Let's do math. 9, then 18. So there's going to be another one here, and then 27. So if I put another one, actually, I'll just put one at the end down here. Make it easy. Like that. And then on the end, you're going to put an end cap. Oh, I forgot to grab one of those. Of course I did. Scatterbrain. Let me grab one. Sorry for the empty camera. So this is an end cap. It looks like this. A lot of people use those like ones where they just fold it over and it looks like a figure eight and they just slip it in. But this one allows you, I like this because you can take the end off completely and you can flush your system because you really want to make sure there's no dirt in your system, especially before you run the drip line for the first time, because you don't want to get dirt particles in that little quarter-inch emitters. It will ruin them. So it's going to attach that at the end. And they all kind of fasten together the same way, which makes it much so convenient. I should cut this a little bit. It's too long. Cut it just so it doesn't look messy. There we go. Get this in. Wiggle, wiggle. Almost there. There we go. And then just screw it into place. There we go. So this is all ready to add the drip, which I'm not going to do yet because I want to flush the lines first. So, but I can kind of, I guess I'll have to video it when I can finally flush the lines and show you guys. But let me continue down the line and do all the boxes this way. And I'll be back to show you when I'm done. So guys, it's the next day. It's a little cooler today, thank goodness. But I'm about to set up the head assembly. I don't have a timer yet. Remember how I told you I was originally going to go off the sprinkler head? And so I didn't need the timer because I had a timer on my sprinklers, but so I have to order one. So, but I do want to flush the system so I can finish the rest of the drip, actually put the emitters in. So in order to flush the system, I have to set this up. So I just went out and I bought a splitter because my hose link is also attached to this hose bib and I don't want to lose my hose link spot. So I just got a splitter and these are the parts you're going to need. A hose vacuum breaker, which is like a backflow preventer. You're going to need some type of filter. This is a T filter. It has a little filter. You can unscrew it at the end and pull the filter out and rinse it just to get the particulates out of the water. And then this is the pressure regulator. You need this for the sprinkler system because you don't want the whole force of the hose bib going into your tiny quarter-inch emitters. And then this is just an elbow. It's an adapter to adapt the end of the hose, the 3/4 inch end, to the tubing that I have right here. So I'm going to do that. I'm doing it with you guys. Let's see how it goes. Like everything else I do, I just kind of go for it. That's how I learn. I make a lot of mistakes, but I learn from them. So they're not really mistakes, are they? Let's see. So this just screws on like that, I guess. Has a little screw in it. I'll have to look up what that's for. I don't know if I have to screw it in tight. No, I didn't even check the water, but oh well. And then after you put in the backflow preventer, you're going to put the filter in. So that's that T filter. I'm not sure how this goes. Your guess is as good as my, folks. How does this go? Oh, it goes like this. Let's see. Let me take it apart and look. We're going to learn together. This, I think, is the filter end. Maybe? Oh, yeah. Filter's right there. How do you get it out? It's spinning. Hold on. Let me see if it comes out this way. Oh, yeah. It comes out this way. If you want to take the filter out, you just take it like that out. You can slide it out. Okay. So that, obviously, you don't screw it on that end because it's a cap. So I think this goes like this. Learning together, guys. That's the filter. Okay. And I think you just have to, it said don't like over tighten, just hand tighten. And then half of you know what, before I do this. You know, I could have done this off camera and then took it apart and done it again. But I'm going to be real here. This is what it is. Just like that. This could be a little tighter. Okay. I think that's good. So now I'll put the filter back on. Do, 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 do. Okay. Just like that. And then after the filter, I'm going to put on the pressure regulator, which is this little guy here, which I assume goes. Oh, yeah, see, it has like that little ring in the middle. I just want to make sure that's. I'm just pushing it back down because it was kind of crooked in there. You don't want it crooked. It's weird. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. After I do this, I am going to just refer to the video, make sure I'm doing it right before I turn it on. The birds are going nuts. Okay, so now obviously, after you put the pressure regulator on, you can't, this won't connect to here. The different kind of, this is 1/2 inch, this is 3/4 inch. So you need this little adapter. I just want to put my trash away so it doesn't blow all over my yard. Keep things neat and clean. I hope it's this simple. The test is going to be when I turn it on, right? Let's see. So this is going to go here. Kind of think maybe I should have come off the other side since my hose is over here. Oh boy. Carol, you weren't thinking. Let's see. It's kind of like a zigzag. I don't even know if that's correct. Let me push it down for you so you can see. Whoops, sorry for my hand. Hold on. I have no idea if this is right, guys. I'll let you know if it works. Actually. Like that. Okay. Let's take this tube out. Okay. I think I might have to cut it a little bit. You know what? I'm going to actually, you can see what's happening here. I'm trying to make this fit here, and it's kinking the tube. So I'm actually going to go get an elbow, cut it, and put an elbow in here. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go do that. Okay, before I do any of that and have it all connected, I'm going to turn it on and see if water comes out. Let's see. Ooh. There we go. That side works. That side works, okay. Let me make sure there's no leaks. Anyway. That actually looks good. All right, so let me cut this. Let me lower the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry for the shadowing. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to actually put an elbow and try to connect it like that. It'd be so much easier if this thing was straight. I'm just going to talk myself through this stuff. Okay, I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to stick my elbow on. Might be hard to get in because this is in the shade. Well, it was in the shade. It's in the sun right now, but you can dip it in hot water. I'm probably blocking the shot, am I? Come on, get on there. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to tighten it. These things are great because when you do make a mistake, you can take this on and off. A lot of sprinkler systems, once you put the tube in, you just have to cut it out and you lose the part. So this is kind of nice. It's error friendly. Okay. So now, that's still not going to work, is it? Let me see if I put it over here. I just don't understand why that has to be an elbow. Why it has to go zigzag. Does anybody understand it? I just don't get it. It's making my life complicated. Let me see. I'm going to attach this part on. Can you still see what I'm doing? Just attaching the other end. Almost there. It's a little tight because it's, whoops, hit the camera. This is like real time, folks. Okay, tighten it. Now, I don't like the angle. I think it'll be all right. I think I can do it. I'll just curve it a little bit. So let me cut it to length. Right about there. Best guess. I'd rather cut it too long than too short. Okay. Come on, baby. I don't want to put too much pressure on this. Break it. Would have been smart to put it on first. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Okay. Is this leaking? Maybe I didn't do it tight enough. I probably should read the directions on this. I'm not really, don't always read directions. Tighten it a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now, if I turn it on, I should be able to flush out my system. Hey guys, so I went ahead and I flushed out the entire system, so it looks like everything was working okay, and hopefully I got any kind of debris that was in the main line tubing to flush out. So now I'm doing the part where I'm actually putting the actual drip emitters down the bed. My beds, 4 of my beds are 3 by 8, and then I had some odd shaped beds that are 2 by 20 and 2 by 8, and then I have an L-shaped bed that's 2 feet wide. So now I already did a couple of the beds just to try to get the hang of it, and the only thing that I am missing is you really need those little clamps to hold the tubing down, because the tubing becomes coiled and it wants to keep coiling on you. So unfortunately I'm kind of out of those, so I'm going to run to the store, but I think I can get away with doing like at least 1 row and show you how to put them in. You know, it seems really complicated, and you know when you watch something on a video or something, like the manufacturer makes it sound so easy, so easy, and when you go to do it, it's really not. But actually, I have to say, this really wasn't complicated. Are there things I could have done better and tweaked? Absolutely. But overall, I think it's pretty straightforward, and once you understand the process, it's really just, it's pretty easy. So let me move the camera down closer to the header so you can see exactly how I put it in. Okay, so we're back. So I apologize if I hope you can hear me okay. Earlier when I was doing the head assembly at the spigot, my camera tripped over and I broke my mic attachment. So my mic is all done. I have to order another one. So anyway, so I hope you can hear me okay. And there might be some wind noise, and I apologize for that. So what you're gonna do first, this is your header. This is your main line tubing where your water comes in. You wanna figure out how many rows of drip emitters you actually want. I have a 3-foot wide bed. I'm putting in 3 rows. They say I have the 1/4 inch drip that's, the emitters are every 6 inches. It says it waters a foot, so 6 inches on either side of that 1/4 inch tubing. So I probably could have got away with just 2, you know, but I'm gonna do 3 because I'm gonna do extra. So what you do is you have this little tool, and it just punches a hole into the main tubing here. So you want to kind of figure out where you want your emitters to go, and then you just go like this. A little tip that I learned is if you have your header on top of your raised bed like this and not on the ground, I kind of angle the hole going down a little bit, just so when the emitter comes off, it's not like floating in the air like that. You want it to go towards the soil. So I kind of angle it a little bit down. And all you do is squeeze. Hear that little pop? And it pops a hole in. So there's like a little hole in there right now. Once you have the little hole, you have these double barbed 1/4 inch, I'll give you the official name, is barb tubing coupling size 1/4 inch. They look like this. Okay? They're pointy on both sides. So basically you just push this into the mainline tubing. I'm doing it with gloves because I have an issue with my hands. My hands are numb all the time, so it's a little bit difficult. And the sun went in, so the tubing is not hot anymore, so it's been a little bit difficult to get it in. Sometimes they pop right in, and sometimes I really struggle. So let me try to get it in. I'm sorry I'm blocking your view. But basically just shove it in. Kind of wiggle it around. Yeah, it went right in. You just want to make sure you push it so it's nice and flush. So once you have that in, then you can get your tubing. So let me go grab that. I'm going to step out of the camera range for 1 second. Okay. Here I come with the tubing. There's so much stuff in my way right now. So if you see a little water dripping out of it, it's because I did flush the lines. So there might be just a little bit of water left in the main line tubing. So then you just take your brown or whatever color, it comes in brown and black. I got brown so I wouldn't accidentally poke holes in it because they do have this, if you want to do pots or other things, they have 1/4 inch regular tubing without the emitters. So it's easy to get it mixed up. So I got brown, and you just put it in the same way. There's a hole in the bottom. I did it so the emitters were on each side. I try not to do it so the emitter goes straight up in the air. It doesn't really matter. But I try to hold it in position. So I'll show you what the emitters look like. Okay. See the little holes? There's one on that side, and there's one on that side. Is it focusing? Okay. So I'm putting it in so the holes are on the side and not shooting straight up in the air, if you can help it. It's not necessarily necessary. So you just kind of slide it over just like we did all the tubing. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, the sun's coming back out. It was supposed to rain today, and look how beautiful it is. So once you have it in, you just run this all the way to the end and cut it. Let me move the camera so I can show you that. So here we are at the other end of the bed. And you just want to see how long you want to make it, basically. There's a emitter right where the end of the bed is. So I'm just going to cut it a little bit beyond that. You can always just curl it or turn it. So I'm just going to cut it like this. Make sure you don't cut over the emitter. Just go a little beyond it. Once you have it cut like that, you're going to put in one of these little caps. Hold on, let me take one off so you can see. They call them goof plugs. You can actually use these to plug a hole if you accidentally put a hole where you don't want a hole. That's why they call them goof plugs. So they look like this. They have a pointy side. Hold on, sorry. They have a pointy side on one side, and then just a flat end on the other. Sorry, it's very bright here. So you just put that into the end. I'm choosing to do it in straight rows. Some people will S it through all their plants or do curly cues or circles. And then the one thing you do need, and I'm really mad I didn't buy them, they do sell these 1/4 inch little stakes. I have these regular garden staples because otherwise it kind of pops up. Like I did put an drip into my onion bed, and it wants to curl up still, this brown tubing. So it was like curling and crushing all my onions. So just put a little stake in to hold it down. And that's it. Let me show you the ones I've done so far. Okay guys, so here's the one we just completed. I still have to do 2 more runs in this. Here's the first one I did. Obviously the string is for my square foot garden. It's a lot easier if you put the drip in before the string. I did that one. And here's the one I did my onions. As you can see, it is hitting some of the onion plants because I don't have enough stakes, but I'm gonna go to the store now and get some stakes so it's not hitting my plants, so I can hold it down better like that. It still wants to curl up. But that's it. I will finish up and then I'll run it and I'll show you guys when I run it, and that will be the end of this video. I hope you found it informative, but let me do the rest of it and hopefully I can get it done today. We did get mulch too, so I'm gonna mulch all my pathways so it look nice. Look how the grass is so sneaky. It's sneaking up. Anyways, let me finish the rest. Okay guys, I'm trying to beat the rain, so I didn't clean up before I'm videoing this, so don't mind the absolute disaster of this garden. But it's done, yay! So I'll just show you it working. It's working right now. You can see where the emitters are dripping out. We can see it really well right there. See? So a few little things, a few little hiccups I had. One, it's getting cooler now, so this brown emitter tubing was like really coiled, and it was, as you can see, I used a ton of landscape staples, but they're just like lifting out a little bit because my soil is not compacted, so it's not really holding it down, but I used a lot, so I mean it looks pretty good, right? My lettuce is happy, it's liking it. So a couple of things I ran into. My bed here, my brassica bed that has the domed hinged cover on it. How the heck did I do that? What I did was I drilled a hole in the side of the bed, and I have it inside. I don't know if I can show you. I don't want to lift it up because I just closed it, but see, it just runs inside like that on the ground. So that was one hiccup I had, but we figured it out. The rest were pretty straightforward. This is my onion and carrot bed. Getting watered right now, even though it's gonna rain. This is my extra brassica bed. I had some extra brassicas. I stuck them over here in my celery and spinach. Over here, I have an L-shaped bed. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but it was actually easy. So I did buy some of these little L-shaped, you can see them right there. So you just cut it, it's just like an L-shaped connector, so you can make a right-hand turn. So those just turn like that. And that's it. I think that's it. Everything worked out great. I have no leaks that I found so far. My bed. The only thing now I have to do is figure out how long to actually keep it on to appropriately water my plants. So that will just have to be like a trial and error thing, I guess. But everything's looking good. And one thing that came up that I planted last weekend, I believe. Was it last weekend? Oh, look at my Solaris radishes. They all sprung up. Oh, and look at this. I have one little beet seedling coming up right there. These are the blushing, not bashful beets. I only see one, but I thought I'd share that with you. And my other watermelon radishes, I don't see anything coming up yet. But anyways, that's gonna do it for the drip irrigation. I think anybody could do it. It takes a little planning and a little sorting out, but it really was not complicated at all. So the next up is I have to do the mulch in my bed. My garden is really coming along. So anyways, that's it for this strip irrigation. I'm sorry I'm rambling. I'm very tired. It's been a very, very long day. It is now 5:30 in the afternoon. And we've been at it pretty much all day. I wasn't the whole time working on the drip, so it doesn't really take that long. I was doing other things in the yard. But anyways, if you've liked the content and you know what to do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and we can learn together.